I'm rebuilding the Giants for a full 10 seasons because Giants fans deserve some happiness, but every season I'm only allowed to make one singular trade, sign free agents in the offseason, and hopefully conduct good drafts. And today I'll be leaving coach firing on, so I could get fired at any moment. So hopefully I can survive all 10 seasons. So here in the preseason, I think it's prime time to make our one and only trade. But the question is, like, what do I even trade for? Now, I do think on offense that our needs are apparent. Like, we need some new offensive linemen. We for sure need a number one receiver. And let's not forget, that we could use a better QB. At least our defense is in much better shape than the offense, but still a little lackluster in some areas. Like, part of me just wants to trade Daniel Jones away while we can, and maybe draft a quarterback this upcoming offseason. I honestly might just put a massive package together here, and part of me just wants to go ahead and trade away Darren Waller because, like, he's just gonna start to regress and he's gonna cost us too much money. We probably can get something good in return for him. And Marcus here, like, his cap hit is just too much for a 72 overall that's just gonna continue to get worse. So maybe I can package these three players together and get something decent in return. And I really wouldn't mind tanking this first season. If we do, hopefully I don't get fired. Now, what if I just click the get offers button? I mean, Jerry Jeudy could be interesting. Like, I just want to make sure that I'm acquiring players that could really help us for the long run. And I feel like we should be able to get a better package than what some of these teams are offering. And definitely an interesting deal here was made. We get Grant Delpit and Jedrick Willis from the Cleveland Browns for Danny Dimes, Darren Waller, the offensive guard, and a fourth from next year. Hopefully this deal is going to be big for the future. I mean, I think it's safe to say that's an interesting start. I mean, we did have the overall drop a little bit, but I think the offensive line now is in much better shape for the future, and hopefully we just got ourselves our strong safety for the next 10 years. I might sign a free agent quarterback though to start for us. Now, our objectives today is to win a Super Bowl, have at least 2 award winners, and most importantly, don't get fired. And if I fail, I have to discard the Giants' highest rated Madden card. I don't have enough coins to just be throwing them away. I think I might actually sign Matt Corral to be our starting QB. I mean, hey, if he has a good season, he can progress and we can trade him later. And I think I'm just gonna set our season goal at 4 wins so I don't get fired, which I might still get fired anyway. At least we got some decent upgrades after the preseason. Part of me hopes we don't win a single game all season so we can draft Caleb Williams and have our QB of the next 10 years. Can somebody please tell me how we made the playoffs? I mean, I'm not complaining more than I'm just confused. I mean, at least that means a lot of our players improved. Imagine we actually win the Super Bowl with Matt Corral at QB. I mean, we had a pretty decent offense for the receivers and quarterbacks that we had, and our defense, again, was middle of the pack. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. That's actually a lot better of a season than what I expected from Matthew. I think it was definitely Saquon, though, that carried this offense. Although Sterling Shepard had 1,200 yards. Like, where did that come from? Imagine this defense if we can actually find somebody to get to the quarterback. And look at Isaiah Simmons with 5 interceptions on the year. We actually had Matt Corral have MVP votes. Like, what actually just happened? And brother, we're not getting fired because we're getting Coach of the Year votes. Unfortunately, though, I don't think we have an award winner this year. I mean, aside from the left guard position, this offensive line's looking much better. Saquon up to a 96, and we'll probably have Saquon in his prime for another 4 years or so. Kind of disappointed we didn't see much improvement from the defense. Like, Boogie Basham had almost 10 sacks and only went up 1 overall. I do have to say, though, I fully expect not to win a playoff game. We're gonna get first rounded here, and we actually didn't. We won the game by 32 points. What the frick is happening? We're not gonna win this Super Bowl here, so all we're doing is just making our draft pick worse. In complete shock at this result. I mean, my God, dude, it says Matt Corral is the QB of the future. Like, should we just re-sign this guy and let him be our QB? It's all gonna end here, though. There's no way this game lets us beat the 15-2 Dallas Cowboys away from home. And what I tell you, at least we put up a fight. Where does that have our draft status? We have pick 25. That is not optimal, because if I do want one of the top quarterback prospects, we're gonna have to have a top 10 pick at least. Like, maybe there's a good wide receiver that would fall to us. I might have to look into trading up somehow. But first, let's just see who wins Super Bowl number 1 today. Oh wow, what a shocker. Now the big question here is, did anybody have their dev trade increase? We actually did have Matt Corral improve up to star. So if we don't draft a quarterback, we might as well just keep him. I think we actually had Daniel Bellinger improve up to star. And defensively, I think everybody's about the same. I mean, maybe the Giants getting Isaiah Simmons before me was actually a really good move. And poor Tyrod retired. Was a good mentor. Now let's see which players we have to decide on re-signing, which we roughly have 33 million available cap. 23 players ready to negotiate though. And for starters, oh no, I forgot we've got to pay Saquon. When I say we got to, like we have got to. I know you're 27, but dude, I will give you a 6-year deal. Hopefully he accepts, and he does. Oh no, there's so many good players that we have to try and bring back. Like Matt Corral is a guy, even though he's only a 70 overall, even if we draft a quarterback, I feel like it's important that we do bring him back. And brother, I will give you a 7-year deal, whatever it takes. Because I mean, he could end up being a superstar, and he's at least back. And this is rough, dude. This is so rough. I feel like we have to bring back Grant Delpit since we just like traded for him. I mean, I hope to God this is enough and he's happy to return, but like I don't think we're gonna have any money for anybody else. Like Xavier McKinney, like I feel like it's important we bring him back too, but I don't think we can afford him. Like he could be the free safety of the future. Oh, this is so tough. Like we're gonna lose out on so many starters. Maybe I can restructure some contracts. I really don't think there's anything else I can do. Did I incur some type of penalty for trading away Daniel Jones? Like I literally can't afford anybody. Like where's all our money going? Well boys, it looks like next year is the season that we could get fired, because I am literally losing like half my roster. I mean, I've got to sign somebody. I've got to sign somebody to play free safety for us. At least he's interested, and that's literally all we can afford. So I'm just gonna submit this through. Hopefully he accepts. And he did, thank God. But unfortunately, that's literally all we can do this first off season. Bro, I have got to have like the best ever draft class here, or we might actually be screwed. I mean, we for sure need wide receivers. We still could use a guard, definitely a tight end. Without a doubt, we need more cornerbacks. We need a defensive end. I have no idea how this team is an 80 overall. And I really don't think I have what it takes to trade up at all. I mean, even if I could just get like pick number 19, I would take that. But who does have pick number 19? The Seahawks are the culprit. We need literally all of these draft picks, so hopefully we can finesse them by like maybe trading away a player. How about a running back? How about one of my mid receivers? Like I really cannot believe how bad this team is right now. How about a backup free safety? Come on now, just please. Oh no, they're over the salary cap. You know what? Even pick number 21, dude, I would take that. Even just a few spots would be huge, and it's declined. So it was like a 6th round pick from 2 years from now, enough to boost that up, and it's not. So I want to save all of my draft picks from this year because I feel like I have to. Come on now. I'm only willing to go with the 4th round pick from 2026. That's literally all I'm willing to do. Oh my God. What if at running back we traded away Eric Gray instead? A little bit higher of an overall. Maybe now I can get rid of a 5th instead. Come on, please accept. How about instead of this receiver, we just go with our worst cornerback? Maybe now we can get away with the 5th, maybe even a 6th from 2026. Please, dude, accept. You know what? I don't even care anymore. I really don't think it's worth it, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and just stick at 25, because with the spot that we're in, man, I just have to make the smartest decisions possible, because our future right now is looking grim. Now, who is even available at this point? I mean, there's some quarterbacks, there's some tackles, and there's some pretty decent receivers left, which wide receiver is one of our biggest needs. Now, Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. Like, he didn't have the greatest of combines. Like, he has some good ratings mixed with some bad ones. I just gotta have faith, though, that this guy's gonna be a stud, and he is. thank God. He's fast with 96 speed. Hopefully he can be our wide receiver 1 the next decade. That's if his overall is high. Hopefully we can also hit here in our round number 2 pick. We need defensive end, and there's literally nobody good available. So the only guy that I see that I'm even halfway interested in right now is Malachi Moore out of Alabama. I mean, we need another corner after losing to Dory Jackson. He had a decent combine. I mean, definitely has some good ratings mixed with bad, just like a receiver that we drafted, but hopefully has hidden development and it's normal. Hopefully I make a better 3rd round pick here. I have to say though, this quarterback out of Tulane, Michael Pratt, is still available, and he looks actually really good, but he's projected to be an undrafted free agent, so maybe I can wait till like the 4th or 5th round on him. I mean, this defensive tackle here is the only one left on the board that's not projected to be undrafted. Like, he has some average stats. Like, that's a rookie, man. Like, this is somebody that we could work with. Jason Carrington, and he's normal development, but hopefully he's at least like a 70. Now, I kind of feel like I just want to go ahead and take a shot at one of these quarterbacks. I'm just wondering why this guy is just so low on the board. Like, he was top 10 in every combine stat. Like, looking at these ratings, man, I just don't feel like it's a mistake taking him. Like, if he sucks, he sucks. But, like, looking at the ratings, he shouldn't suck. I'm gonna take him. Hopefully he's good. Yes, it's normal development, but, like, if he has a decent overall, like, that's something to work with. I think with how bad our depth is, like, I just am gonna have to take a shot on one of these defensive ends. And this guy kind of skyrocketed up our board, so maybe that's for a reason. Probably the strongest player of the entire combine, so maybe he can develop into something half decent. Like, 92 strength isn't horrible for a 5th rounder. Now, I have to say, this center had an incredible combine. You know what? I'm just gonna take a shot on the center. I can move him to guard if I had to, and he's normal again, but we don't really know until we see his overall. With our 7th round pick, I think I'm just gonna take a shot on this free safety. Like, he has some good attributes. Again, it's a 7th round pick. He has horrible speed, but hopefully the rest of them's okay. That's like one of the worst drafts I've had in a really long time. I'm just hoping some of those players with normal development are at least decent overalls. Here we freaking go, dude. The gosh dang moment of truth. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty terrible, but at least I do think we found ourselves our future wide receiver 1. Hopefully some of these guys can turn into something half decent. You know, I would love to have a top pick to either get Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison, or Caleb Williams, who are all 80 overall or above. God, there were so many good players that we missed on late in the draft. That hurts, I tell y'all. At the start of next season, I think it's safe to say that this team is in quite a bit of trouble. And I really do have a feeling that his defense is going to end up one of the worst in the entire league this year. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to make a good trade here in the preseason because we only have $2.29 million available. So the smart thing to do might just be to trade for some draft picks, because for whatever reason, with the little money this squad has, like, we're going to need draft picks to be able to turn this team into a winner. Like, even if we can just get like a 4th round pick for this, I would take it. We got a 4th and a 5th from the Patriots. I'll gladly take that. I'm just really hoping this isn't the season I get fired. Like, it's only year 2. Well, the standings are invisible, so I don't know what that means. I am still in complete shock that we found a way to win 7 games with our roster. I mean, we somehow still had a top 10 offense, and our defense was good too. So, like, what was the problem? Oh, that's what. I think it's safe to say I've never seen a quarterback throw 38 interceptions. So, like, what was the difference in last year to this year? I don't understand. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out of my mind, but at least Saquon's still good. Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson were our top 2 receivers, but at least our rookie had a pretty good first year. At least we finally had 2 players get over 10 sacks. Well, boys, I think it's safe to say Matt Corral didn't get a top 10 MVP vote this year, and we didn't even get a rookie of the year. So still no award winners, unfortunately. I still just don't quite understand, like, how did this happen? So unfortunately, our entire team's morale is down, but at least thank the Lord, some positivity. At least Buka is a superstar already. Wait, how in the world did Michael Pratt already become a better quarterback than Matt Corral? I mean, I'm not complaining. Maybe we can just trade Matt Corral away now. Defense is the same too, man. Everybody's just sad. So the Jags get a Super Bowl here in year 2, but I am more concerned with the fact, actually it kind of makes me happy, but just confused. Why do we now have $130 million in cap room? I mean, the only explanation is we had to have some penalties or something from last year. At least we didn't have anybody retire. And since I'm here, I think that means I didn't get fired either. And it doesn't shock me or anything, but we didn't have anybody have their dev trade increase. At least this time around, I should be able to re-sign all my players. Definitely gonna accept Kayvon Thibodeau's 5th-year option. Same thing with Evan Neal. We have $130 million in cap. So yes, I am gonna try to re-sign Jedrick Willis, and honestly, I'll give you a 6-year deal. A good offensive linemen don't come around too often, so I will give you a pretty hefty contract. And he's testing out free agency. Like, none of our players have interest in re-signing. Aziz, brother, I will give you the world. A freaking 7-year contract. That's got to be enough to entice you, right? At least we're 1 for 2. Now, Boogie Basham's actually been extremely productive for us, so I will give you a nice little 5-year deal. Hopefully that's enough to bring you back. Why is everybody leaving us? I mean, I might as well try and re-sign Darius Slayton too. I mean, honestly, I don't blame you guys. I mean, we do need strong safety depth, but honestly, I'm not gonna be shocked if he decides to test free agency. And what did I tell y'all? Even though we had the money to spend this year, like, it doesn't freaking matter, does it? Are you NFL fans ready for some more exhilarating action on the field this week? Well, I've partnered up with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the NFL, and they got you covered. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. It is literally that simple. DraftKings customers can also get some more skin in the game with same game parlays, where you can combine the multiple bets from the same game for a chance at an even bigger payout. Now, if sports betting isn't yet available in your state, that's no problem, because you can still get in on the action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports, which I absolutely love. Personally, I've been participating in their Daily Fantasy Sports for years, and that's continuing this year, but you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and new customers can use my promo code RBT to bet $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, that's promo code RBT only at DraftKings Sportsbook, which again, I'd like to thank DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. We're not even 2 full seasons in yet, and this has already been the most difficult rebuild I've ever attempted. Now, there are some pretty tasty free agents out there. For starters, I think Trey Smith would be a massive improvement. We can move Evan Neal back to left tackle. Trey, I will give you the world. A 6-year contract. I'll even up the money a bit. Hopefully this makes this his top offer, and we're tied with 2 other teams. You know what? Instead, dude, I'll secure you for life. A 7-year deal. I'll up this even more. And thankfully, we are the top offer. And we need defensive end bad. Like, so bad. I will give Zadarius Smith a little Mickey Mouse 2-year deal. And as of now, we're his top offer. And I know we have Kayvon Thibodeau, but I would actually love to sign JOK, another guy that'll keep you around for another 7 seasons. I will literally up this salary as much as I physically have to, because he's a guy that could increase into like a 90-95 overall range. And it looks like we're tied with everybody else. So you know what? I'll up it even more. We're still tied with everybody else. And we really could use having another absolute stud cornerback. Hopefully this is enough to bring him into New York. And again, we're tied with so many other teams. I mean, like, at this point, our free safety depth is so bad that, like, I'd be willing to give Tyrann Mathieu a little 2-year deal, although he'll be 35 at the end of it. And by far, we're his best offer. We're going to evaluate the offers that we've sent out, and I just really hope we at least get like 3 out of those 5 players. We got Trey Smith at least, and we also got Greg Newsome and Tyrann Mathieu. But unfortunately, that does mean we missed out on JOK, and Zadarius Smith hasn't decided yet. At this point, though, there's really nobody else that I even want. So hopefully he'll accept to help us out next season, and he chose the Falcons. That's fine, though. We are due to put together an incredible incredible draft class here. Hopefully anyway. So at least the team's up to an 83 overall now. I think in this draft for sure I'm going to look at getting another wide receiver, maybe another QB, and always down to add some offensive linemen. And defensively, without a doubt, we need 2 more defensive ends. But at least we have money and we've made some steps in the right direction. I just need to make sure we ace this draft, which I don't even know which pick I have in the first round yet. We actually have pick number 9. Now here at the 9 spot, there is a wide receiver that was projected to go in the top 5. He had a pretty decent combine. There's a couple pretty important A's there. There's no way he's a bust, right? There's no way he's a bust. We need a receiver. He's hidden development. Hopefully he's at least like a 75, 76 overall. We need defensive end pretty freaking badly, and this guy looks like the best one left on the board. Jaden Palmer, he's a scheme fit as well. He does have hidden development, which is a dub. That's already better than last draft. I also do have to say that this cornerback sitting right in front of me, Tremaine Tyson, looks incredible. B-zone, B-catching, B-press. He is super fast too. Like, maybe he's a guy I could actually move to safety. Helps he's a scheme fit as well. Like, I'm going to take a shot on him. And boys, we are 3 for 3, thank God. This tight end right here that I'm looking at also looks pretty tasty, and we really do need a stud tight end, so hopefully Spencer Philbin can be it, and it doesn't look like it. We at least have 2 5th-round picks here. There's a decent little free safety available here in the 5th round. We're gonna grab him. He's just so goddamn slow. Here's a projected undrafted free agent at the offensive line position. Like, he has some promising stats, like A impact block, A lead block. I mean, a guy that's worth taking a shot on. I think I might just take a shot on this guy just because he had a pretty good combine for defensive tackles. Like, his skills are horrible, but like, I just want to take a shot on him, see how it looks, and it doesn't look too good. I'm not kidding, dude. Like, everybody else sucks. So like, here in the 7th round, I'm just gonna take a shot on this guy that has some okay stats. His run block sucks, but he kind of flew up our board this season. I'm gonna take a shot on him, and I just hope he's not like a 61 overall. Oh, now it's time for the moment of truth. And yo, dude, like, I have to say, yeah, like, our last 5 picks suck. It is what it is, but bro, we hit on some absolute gems here in the first 3 rounds. We got an 80 overall receiver, not to mention a 78 overall cornerback in the 3rd round. Don't mind if I do. And I just want to put it out there, boys, that I just found an absolute stud undrafted free agent fullback that already has star development, so best believe he's gonna be a giant for the next 10 years. I mean, the good thing here is we should at least be set at the wide receiver position for the next decade. Now, I do have to say, I think this is the year I'm just gonna move on from Matt Corral and try to trade him for whatever we can get. I'm just gonna give Michael Pratt a shot and maybe trade him for a defensive end, because right end is by far the biggest position of need on this entire squad. And we do get a pretty solid defensive end in return, bringing in Will McDonald from the Jets. I mean, at least I think that completes the defense. I mean, I feel like if Michael Pratt doesn't throw 40 interceptions like Matt Corral, we should at least make the playoffs this year. At least, most importantly, I think this is the year I have to stress the least about actually getting fired. But can 3rd time be a charm and we just please finally make the freaking playoffs? And 3rd time is a charm. Not only did we win the division and make the playoffs, we got ourselves a 1st round bye. I just hope we don't have to play the Cowboys in the 2nd round. I mean, I thought we were good enough to make the playoffs, but I really didn't expect a 1st round bye. Yo, we actually beat the Cowboys away from home. Hopefully that's a good omen. We had a top 5 offense in the league, and defensively we were finally top 10. And I have to say, I think naming Michael Pratt the start of this season was the correct decision. I mean, he only threw about 30 less interceptions than Matt Corral, and Saquon continues to carry this team, no pun intended. Gonna be so depressing when he retires. But look at that production from our top 2 young studs. Like, I'm so happy they're gonna be here for a really long time. Safe to say, I am so happy that we gave Ojulari all that money. Now, did we finally get an award winner? No MVP. And I literally barely missed out on Coach of the Year. And yes, we did have an award winner, Saquon Barkley, winning Offensive Player of the Year. And honest to God, with that rookie wide receiver that we drafted, we might go 2 for 2 here. No! He came in 4th, but at least we're on the board. We almost had a defensive rookie of the year. Now, how much did everybody's overall improve here? I mean, Michael Pratt's already up to a 75 overall. Hopefully, he'll improve the star this offseason, and at that point, he really could be our QB of the future. I mean, Agbuka and Booth are both up to 84 overall, and if we can just improve this left guard position, this could really be one of the best offensive lines in the entire league. I actually got quite a bit of improvement from the defense this season, and after we do all of these upgrades, the team is all the way up to an 87 overall. So we take on the Falcons here in our first game of the playoffs. After that spectacular season, can we just please not lose our first game? Like, we're at home, we should win this, and we lost by 7. Oh my god, the misery is real. I'm still optimistic though, because look bro, we have $100 million left to spend on a team that just got a first round bye. Think it's safe to say the dynasty is just beginning. Oh no, Falcons fans, look away. Well, looks like we're gonna have to find a new kicker. Maybe kicker's been our problem this entire time. Now hopefully we had a few players actually improve their depth trait, and unfortunately they didn't. I'm surprised Michael Pratt's still normal. And on defense, yo, was Ojulari always a superstar? And I am just now noticing that cornerback that we drafted is a freaking superstar already. 3rd round pick, by the way. Definitely gonna accept Deontay Banks' 5th year option. Same thing here with Will McDonald. Now Daniel Bellinger, like, he actually has been a pretty good tight end for us. I'll give you a 5-year contract. Like, I'm not gonna break the bank on you or anything. I mean, I think he deserved another contract, and he's coming back, thank God. Now this offensive guard, he's been our starter. I do want to replace him this offseason, but he would be fine to have for depth. Hopefully this is enough for him to return, and it is. Now Wan'Dale Robinson's actually been a pretty quiet, really good number 3 receiver, so he's another guy I won't break the bank on, but I will give him a long-term contract offer, which hopefully he accepts, and he does. Yeah, dude, I want this fullback to stay here forever. I'll give you a 7-year contract, and Justin's going nowhere. And we actually really need Micah here to stay on the squad because we have no middle linebacker depth. So hopefully that's enough to entice them, and yes. But honestly, the rest of these heathens, they can go. Now let's see who we can actually sign this time around in free agency. I mean, there's some big boys out there. Like, do I sign these guys on like a 1 or 2 year deal and just try to go for it all? Because they're surely going to begin to regress. But like Joel, I'll give you a 2-year deal. And Ronnie Stanley, like, he's only 32, so he'll be good for a while. Like, imagine we actually got him to play right tackle for 2 years. I mean, that might mess with Evan Neal's development, but you know what? It's worth a shot. And automatically our offer is top on their boards. And again, out there's really like nobody I care for too much, although we do need a kicker. Jake, what you say about being our long-term kicker? Looks good. We don't have a punter either, so like, why not just get an 83 rated Ryan Stonehouse? Also his only offer. I mean, there's a bunch of quarterbacks out there, but like nobody that's gonna replace Michael Pratt. Like, should I just continue to go all out? Like, should I sign Travis Kelce on maybe a 2-year deal? Or maybe we can just really go for a 1-year deal and really try to win the Super Bowl here in year 4? So our offer was blown out the water, so scratch that. I think I'm good for now, so let's see if we can actually compile like the best ever offensive line. And Ronnie Stanley signs, as did Joel Bitonio, Ryan Stonehouse, and Jake Elliott. I mean, I think by far that's the best free agency we've had. I mean, that's brought the team up to an 87 overall with an 88 offense. Honestly, outside of maybe targeting a free safety, I think in this upcoming draft, I'm just gonna target like the best player available. Hopefully we can draft as many studs as we did last draft. Unfortunately, we don't pick until 27 though. Now this is the only safety here that's sticking out to me at all. It's not the fastest guy in the world, unfortunately. Good hit power and decent coverage, but strong safety. Now this Pat Hamilton guy looks like an absolute freaking stud. Like, I could just move him over to free safety. I think this man is the pick without a shadow of a doubt. Unfortunately, he does not have hidden development. That is a massive disappointment. Hopefully I can make up for that here in the 2nd round. Now this fella could actually be our left guard of the future, Tavares Shelby. Don't mind if I do. Finally we hit on somebody. Hopefully that luck continues here into the 3rd round. And also this guy right here, he really could be our center of the future. Kind of looks like the best available player. I'm gonna draft him, and we hit again. Now, we didn't pick a free safety earlier, but this guy right here actually looks pretty solid. Like, some pretty okay stats across the board. Like, nothing insane. He's really slow too, but like, I think he's a guy worth taking a shot on, and he's just not good again. We've missed on every freaking free safety I've drafted. This outside linebacker looks pretty decent for a 5th rounder though, and look at that, dude. Finally, we hit on a day 3 prospect. Another outside linebacker that's either terrible or amazing, and I think it was the terrible option. Next, we almost have the Mr. Irrelevant pick. I know I've taken like 2 straight outside linebackers, but I'm not gonna lie. For a guy that's projected to go undrafted, like, he has some okay attributes, some bad ones, but some ones that do provide some potential, and he sucks again. Like, I'm just talking myself into nonsense. I just really hope that safety we got in the 1st round is a high overall, or this might have been an L draft. Please, just like a 75 overall safety, and I'll be happy. And he's right on the money. He's a 75. The left guard we got in the 2nd round is a 76. We got a 71 center in the 3rd, and our 7th round pick was actually a 70. Like, I guess you take 3 outside linebackers in a row, and one of them will be decent. I'm not mad at that. So at least we got the future replacements for Joel Bitonio and John Michael Smith. And again, I think this defense is in a really, really good spot. I just hope this doesn't end up being the team that gets us fired. So after getting a 1st round bye last season and improving the team drastically in the offseason, I think anything less than another division crown would be an absolute disaster. I mean, we did lose less games, but like, I guess we still won the division. I mean, we had the top offense in the entire freaking league, and we almost had the top defense too. Like, how did we only win 10 games? This is one of the strangest seasons I've ever seen. Like, yeah, 17 interceptions is a lot, but 5,000 yards is also a lot. Saquon, you know, still rushing for 20 touchdowns a season, and we finally got that breakout season from Amika here with almost 1,800 yards and 10 touchdowns. We actually had 3 1,000-yard receivers for the first time. We almost had the best defense in the entire league, yet nobody got to the quarterback 10 times. I highly doubt Michael Pratt even got an MVP vote throwing that many interceptions. Led the league in passing yards, yet didn't get 1 freaking vote. And I fell a lot in the Coach of the Year voting. No Offensive Player of the Year, no Defensive Player of the Year either, no Offensive Rookie of the Year, no Defensive Rookie of the Year. So unfortunately, no awards this season. So before the playoffs start, we are up to an 88 overall with an 89 offense. I mean, Michael Pratt's almost an 80 overall, and we've got studs all over the defense. We had the best offense in the NFL, almost the best defense. We have yet to win a playoff game. This has got to be our first. No shot we lose to an 8-9 team, and we grab the dub 21-10. Now is our shot to get revenge on the Vikings. It's a home game. This to advance into the NFC Conference Championship, and we lost again. Winning the Super Bowl is so tough. Hopefully we'll be the one winning this thing one day. At least I haven't been fired yet. No retirements either, so gotta take the positive while we can. Now Saquon's down to a 90 overall. Like, it might be smart for the betterment of the team to like draft a running back and go ahead and trade him and get something in return while we can. Pratt still hasn't improved a star, and all we had defensively was Bobby here go down to normal. So far this offseason has been rather disappointing. At least we have 70 mil to spend. That's before we re-sign some of these guys. Oh no, Amika Buka, we got to accept his option. That means we're gonna have to pay him next offseason, which hopefully we can afford him. Oh no, there's some big players I gotta try and re-sign. Kayvon Thibodeau, like, no ifs, ands, or buts. I have got to bring him back. Hopefully this is enough. Thank the Lord. I mean, I do want to bring Evan Neal back. Like, he is going to be our tackle of the future once Ronnie Stanley retires and regresses. Come on, big fat contract. Thank you, Evan. Now, John here, like, is he worth it? Like, it's tough. You know what? Our rookie behind him's a 75 overall. So, like, I might actually just let John walk here. Bobby, he can walk too. We can assign a better middle linebacker. Jalen Hyatt, like, really hasn't done anything at all for us. So I think it'd just be, like, worthless to spend the money on him. Still leaves us 50 mil to spend. Hopefully we can at least get a better middle linebacker here in free agency. Jordan Addison is available. Like, that's a big player. But, like, I think that would just be overkill. Depending on who else is available, I might actually come back to that. Like, I might just give David Long let's do a 1-year deal just kind of as cover this season. We don't have much depth behind Dexter Lawrence, so I'll give Byron Young a 2-year offer here. And you know, dude, like, since we have the money, like, why not try and sign Jordan Addison here? Like, we'd still have 20 mil to spend. Like, hopefully he can accept this, and we might have the best offense of all freaking time. The Patriots are outbidding us. We can't let that happen. You know what, bro? I'll give you a 7-year deal. I'll up this to like 7.5. Actually, let's do 7.7. Come on, be as much as the Patriots. And we're at least tied. We're gonna sort this. And to my surprise, Jordan freaking Addison is a New York Giant. So was David Long. I think it's safe to say that was unexpected. I just really hope this safety can fill in well. Which this time we have the 26th pick. Do I actually go with a running back in the first round? He could be our Saquon Barkley replacement. If there's nobody else that stands out here, I might honestly just take the running back. Screw it, dude. I'm just gonna go with the running back and hope to God he's a decent overall. I told you guys, I'm just gonna go like best available, and this tight end looks pretty freaking nasty, although he doesn't have hidden. I am just gonna take a big shot on this middle linebacker because we need one really bad. And oh my God, I think we actually hit on one. I honestly don't care. I'm taking another shot on a running back, and it's another one that could be good. We just need one of those two guys to be solid. We have our Saquon replacement. I mean, we need defensive tackle depth, and like this guy seems okay. And he actually has hidden development, which I thought he was gonna be a bust because he fell to us. Day 3 left tackle. Let's see what we have in Stephon Falk. Not too much. With our 7th round pick, this center is like the only guy that looks like he's worth drafting, and he probably is not, but hey, what else was I supposed to do? Most importantly, man, I just hope one of those running backs are actually really good. And I don't think you can be too mad at a 79 overall running back in the first round. Even the one we got in the 4th was a 74. Good middle linebacker too. Like, I think that's a real good draft class. But at the start of the year here, even though it's gonna hurt a lot, I think it's time to finally move on. Maybe we can improve a middle linebacker or free safety. And I do have to say, there's some pretty wild offers out there for a running back. And in the end, we actually end up acquiring Quay Walker from the Green Bay Packers for Saquon, David Long, and Wan'Dale Robinson. It hurts, but it was for the betterment of the squad. I really hope that doesn't end up being the move that gets me fired. But let's see if we can win our 3rd consecutive division, even though we just got rid of arguably our best player. Oh no, we went 9-8. So I very well might have made the wrong decision. Our offense went from 1st to 10th. Why was our defense so bad? Like, that makes no sense. Come on now. I mean, at least our QB's looking really good. I mean, that's not Saquon numbers, but that's still good for a rookie. And again, we had 3 1,000-yard receivers. I just really hope we're able to re-sign Amika. I just don't understand why this defense was so bad. We only lost our free safety. No top 10 votes again. But at least we did have the Offensive Rookie of the Year, which officially means we've won our 2nd award. At least I've accomplished something from sitting in this chair for 4 hours. I mean, our running back's already an 84 overall superstar. Like, he'll be as good as Saquon was in like a year or two. You just can't tell me this was one of the worst defenses in the league. Like, that's stupid. At least I don't think I got fired. At least we're not as cursed as the Falcons. Oh no, that actually is my worst nightmare. How are we supposed to replace both of these guys in one off season? On the positive side, at least we gained a superstar X Factor. I'm just hoping we can re-sign him. At least that's not the worst of drop-offs on the offensive line. Good thing we kept draft in depth. And apparently our overall hasn't dropped any. And I don't think we had any movement on the defensive side of things. At least our guys retiring gave us 70 mil to spend on free agents and on re-signing players. For starters, obviously, I'm going to accept Dom Boost 5th-year option. I didn't realize I was going to have to re-sign Deonte Banks too. Will McDonald, Michael Pratt, we have to re-sign. Wait, am I tripping? Like, is Amika not a free agent this offseason? Like, I'm not complaining. So I guess that means it's next offseason we have to re-sign him. But for starters, fellas, I have got to re-sign Deontay Banks here. I mean, he's got to accept this. He's got to. Yes, he does. Now, Will McDonald, I've been kind of disappointed with him, not gonna lie. Like, I still want him to stay for a little while. Like, I'm not gonna offer way too much, but that should be enough, and it is. Now we've got to focus on re-signing our QB. Now, the problem for us is that he doesn't have much interest in re-signing, but hopefully if I up this offer a bit, he'll reconsider. Oh, that is actually our absolute worst freaking nightmare. I just have to tell myself that might be for the greater good. Let's try to get our cornerback 4 to re-sign. Why couldn't it have been this easy with Michael Pratt? I mean, I could franchise tag him, but that's $55 million. Maybe I could either re-sign him in free agency, or maybe there's actually a better free agent QB out there. And there's not at all, not even freaking close. What do I do here? What if I give you a 7-year deal instead? I'll up this to 4.5, up this to 8.5. So the offer's tied with the Bears, and there's really like nobody else out there I want to give any money to. Will Shipley's a free agent, but no point in wasting money. So it's literally just our quarterback that I want to return. Oh my God, he chose the Bears. We gave you a shot to start, and this is how you repay us? Well, fellas, I think it's safe to say that we're gonna be drafting a quarterback here, even if it's a second rounder, which unfortunately, it definitely doesn't look like the best of quarterback drafts. Like, there's really not one quarterback available that even stands out to me. I mean, Michael Pratt was a mid-round prospect. Maybe we can hit on another one. We do have pick number 18 in the draft, which I really don't think any of these quarterbacks are worth it, although this guy right here kind of looks tasty. Brian McMillan has decent key ratings. He's super fast too. I mean, what do you mean this guy is a second to third round projection? Like, he's a first to second round talent, which means he's not an absolute world beater. So am I like getting baited here, or do I just wait until the second? Like, that's tough, man. Like, none of these other quarterbacks look good aside from this guy, but he's a third to fourth round talent. All these guys say undrafted free agent. So yeah, dude, I think I have to take the one guy that says he could be a first round talent. Like, he's probably not going to be an absolute monster, but I'll take literally whatever I can get. And he is normal development, but he's super fast and has decent throw power. If he's just like a 72 or 73, bro, I will take that all day, every day. My second round pick, I think I'm going to rock with this defensive tackle here. He's a scheme fit, and he's a hidden development prospect. Literally every single top prospect on my board is a defensive tackle. As I say that, this defensive end right here looks kind of tasty. Had a mid-combine, has good ratings. So you know what, Ben Ramirez, maybe you can be our Will McDonald replacement, and you look pretty solid. I forgot we have 2 third-round picks this year. Do I go with one of these other defensive tackles just because there's so many good ones this year? I did say I want to try to take best player available, but which one is the best? Juan here has a lot of B's. Rodney has a few A's though. Like, this is a tough one. Like, Juan is a scheme fit, so is like that the difference? I mean, he had a little bit better of a combine. You know what? I'm just gonna go with the scheme fit, and it might have been a big mistake. Ooh, Peter here looks like a decent little prospect at outside linebacker, and he does have hidden development. That's good. Good 4th round pick. Man, I'm just gonna take the safety here that has good hit power. Everybody else sucks or is a defensive tackle. There's no in between, and guess what? We got another free safety who's slow as molasses. You know what, dude? This guy is still here. Like, this is my 3rd defensive tackle, but everybody else sucks. He's a projected 1st to 2nd round player. I'm gonna take him, and that might be exactly why. I got baited. I mean, the only position on the board that's left that actually has somebody projected to be drafted outside of D tackle is tight end. So I guess it wouldn't hurt to take a shot on Brian Gatewood. Please tell me that QB is like a 72, 73. I'll take that. Or I will also take a 75. And outside of that, like, we didn't get any absolute studs, but bro, we literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players 72 overall or higher. Like, this might be my best draft of the day yet. And I guess it's safe to say I'll never have to draft a defensive tackle again. Well, fellas, here we go again, starting a rookie QB. He's got a fine offensive line blocking for him though. He's got probably the best trio of receivers in the league. And there is just no way, dude, that this defense performs as bad as they did last last year. No shot. So for this year's trade, I decided to upgrade the tight end position by just a bit by acquiring Dalton Kincaid, 86 overall from the Bills, for Bellinger, McFadden, Culver, a second from this year, and a fourth from 2 years from now. I mean, come on, man. This team is a 90 overall with a 92 defense. This has got to be the most talented team in the league. There is absolutely zero excuse for this team to not be winning their division. And we've made it back to the playoffs where we belong. No first round bye is kind of disappointing, but beggars can't be choosers. Back to having the second best offense in the league, and our defense, thank God, was top 10 at least. Our rookie quarterback balled the frick out. That might be the best year any of our quarterbacks have had yet. And this guy's finally starting to show why he's our Saquon replacement. I mean, we actually got kind of close to having 4 1,000-yard receivers this season. I just really freaking hope, man, we can bring back Amika. And disappointing, this might be the least amount of sacks we've gotten this season yet. Bro, our rookie quarterback came in 6th in MVP voting. I think that's the highest we've had a quarterback finish yet. But for some reason, I just can't win the freaking Coach of the Year for nothing. But our boy had to have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's our 3rd award winner. Actually had back-to-back Rookie of the Years. And that defensive tackle we took late, finishing 7th. And look at this team, dude. Up to a 91 with a 92 offense. I mean, our young stud here is up to a 79 already. And Amika is a member of the Mickey Mouse 99 Club. And I'll say it a million times. This has got to be the best defense in the league. We've got to go on a Super Bowl run here. We've got to. Absolutely zero shot. We get first rounded by the Carolina Panthers. I just don't believe it's going to happen. And you just got to be kidding me. This game is so stupid. What's going to happen first? We finally win a Super Bowl or I get fired? Oh, so the 8-9 Panthers win the Super Bowl. That makes sense. I just want to get this stress over with and hopefully just be able to re-sign Amika. Here it is, my friends. And the thing that is not good is that he has no interest in returning. So that means I'm going to have to give him a fat contract. But I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. I'll up this to like 10.7. That has got to be enough, man. That'll make you one of the highest paid players in the entire league. What the frick do you mean? I'm going to sign him 100%. I am 100% getting him a free agency. I don't care what it takes. Or I could just franchise tag him. And you know what? I think for the first time ever, I'm going to do it. You're not going anywhere. Now, I am going to accept this free safety's 5th-year option. And I do 100% want to bring Tremaine back. Why are all these guys leaving? Now, Jaden, you're not going to do me dirty, right? Thank God. Now, we're going straight into free agency so I can re-sign our corner. Hey, at least our rookie quarterback finally became a star. What Michael Pratt could never do. We did have a few guys defensively regress like Quay Walker, and it might be time to replace Will McDonald. But first, let's get our star cornerback, Tremaine Tyson. Where the frick do you think you're going, bro? Like, what do I have to give to you? Surely that's enough, although the Bucks are offering a lot. You know what? I'm gonna up it even more, man. I am not letting the Bucks steal probably my favorite player we've drafted yet. 5 million bonus, 5 million salary. No shot they're gonna steal him from us. Aside from that, like, maybe we could get a new defensive end. Like Dakota Alexander, are you the one? Or maybe we could get John Franklin Myers for a season or 2. Hopefully he won't be too shabby. So let's see first if we get John. Of course we did. And please tell me that corner chose us over the Bucks. Thank God. I was actually kind of nervous. I mean, this team's at a gosh dang 92 going into the draft. Like, what does it take to win a Super Bowl? So let's see what we can get here at the end of the first round. I accidentally skipped the pick and we got a right tackle. I thought I was clicking view draft board. Well, hopefully Carl Bernard is solid. Well, let's make sure we don't skip our 3rd round pick here. I mean, this strong safety here doesn't look too horrible, and he's like extremely fast, which I have yet to really draft a really fast safety. So we'll go with Javon Duncan here, and he looks like an absolute stud. I mean, I know I've taken a lot of offensive linemen, but this guy actually looks extremely good for a 4th round prospect, and we get another monster. I'm actually gonna go middle linebacker here in the 5th round. Marco Carter has some good attributes, and we get another stud. Okay, so at least I've made up for skipping our 1st round pick. For a 6th rounder, Kevin here, although he's projected undrafted free agent, could be a half decent outside linebacker. I'll have to wait and see that overall. Now, what are the odds I hit on my 7th round pick here? I do have to say, this wide receiver looks like the worst prospect of all time. Think I'm gonna go with this fella. Like, he's pretty fast for outside linebacker, but he sucks at everything else. But hey, maybe he could play special teams. Hopefully that 1st rounder wasn't a complete bust. I mean, he wasn't great, but at least we made up for it with our next 3 picks. I mean, this offense has got to be winning at least 12 games this season, even with the young QB. Like, look at his weapons. And this defense better finish top 5. Can the 2029 season please be good to me? And can we somehow, some way go another season without getting fired? Hopefully. And safe to say I won't be getting fired this season. My God, dude, is this the best season we've had yet? How did we not get a 1st round bye though with a 14-3 season? The Falcons stole it from us. The #1 offense in all of the league. At least we had a top 10 defense. And boys, I think we have finally found our absolute stud QB, Brian McMillan, with 5,000 yards, 42 touchdowns, 7 interceptions to a 75% completion percentage. Our Saquon replacement isn't looking too shabby either. Look at that QB with 5 rushing touchdowns. Like, he might be our first guy to actually win MVP. And look at this production, dude. 21 receiving touchdowns, 13 for Dom Booth. I mean, we were kind of close to having 4 1,000-yard receivers. And we finally had somebody that knew how to get to the quarterback. Now tell me, did your New York Giants finally have their first MVP winner? Bang! Brian finally edges out Caleb Williams to be the first man of the day to win the MVP. I really freaking hope that means his overall improved dramatically, and the man's all the way up to an 85 overall with a morale boost. He's a 90. At least I think we finally found our franchise QB. I mean, come on now, dude. We have 3 receivers that are 94 overall or higher. We have an offensive line whose weak link is an 84 overall center. Like, come on, this team's got to finally win it this year. And same thing on defense. We just have guys balling out everywhere with the team up to a 93 overall with a 95 offense and a 92 defense. Absolutely zero shot we get knocked out here at home to the Minnesota Vikings. We have one of the best teams in NFL history. No shot. We get 1st rounded. Thank you so much. I have to say, though, the Lions are looking pretty nasty. So it is going to take a good game here at home to advance into the conference championship. Like, still, though, dude, we're 93 overall at home. We should be winning this game. Come on, please. Thank the Lord, a close win. And come on now. All we got to do is beat the Seahawks here. This is the closest we have gotten so far. We should be massive favorites here at home. We're going to send to this Super Bowl, and I hope to God, for the first time today, we have made it to the big game. Please don't let me down. Bang! Absolute complete annihilation. Literally 4 quarters away from my first Lombardi trophy. Safe to say I won't be getting fired this year. Now this is what I'm talking about, dude. Where the frick did that come from? I've never seen a player get 4 skill points in 1 week, but you know what? I will take every single one of those. Now, how much that boost up our teams overall? It did boost us up to a 94 with a 96 offense, and it looks like our QB not only is now up to an 89 overall, he also got superstar, which is our first quarterback of the entire rebuild to finally get that. Also, Trey Smith got a superstar development trait because he won Offensive Lineman of the Year. That's always nice. There is no way that we allowed the Baltimore Ravens to beat us here, although they still do have Lamar. Now, before we send this, I do want to do some scouting. I mean, Lamar's still an absolute stud. Pretty good running back. At receivers, Zay Flowers and Bateman are absolute beasts. They still have Mark Andrews, who's a stud. Oh no, their offensive line is absolutely incredible and might actually be better than ours. Now, I do have to say, oh, the middle linebackers are ridiculous. Like, I do think we have the edge on defense. Oh, their team is so good, man. This is gonna be an absolute battle. Just please get off to a fast start here. Can we score 7-0? Come on, defense. Come up big. Come up big. Oh, they didn't. 7-7. Come on. We answer 14-7. Come on, more points before half. More points before half. 21-7. Keep it piling on. 24-7. Oh no, 10-point game. They're coming back. They're not. 31-14. No shot, bro. No shot. No shot. Get in that end zone, boys. It has been done. Finally, just before the start of a brand new decade in 2030, we have finally, thank God, brought the Giants to our first Super Bowl of the day. As down goes Lamar and the Ravens. And as happy as this makes me, as we finally win the Super Bowl and get to scratch that objective off our board, but I still have to make it to 2033 by not getting fired. Which, knowing myself, that's going to be an extremely difficult task. And maybe I can win another Super Bowl or two by then. My God, dude, look at some of the names that have retired at this point. If we can re-sign all of our players here, maybe this could be the start of a dynasty. So not only do I have to re-sign Amika, I also have to re-sign Dom Booth. And Amika doesn't want to re-sign, so this really could be difficult. Now for starters, our 94 overall running back here, Bobby, we're going to go ahead and accept his 5th-year option. That's a no-brainer. And since Amika's going to be a little bit more difficult, why don't we go ahead and go after Dom Booth here, because he does have interest in re-signing. Like, I'm confident in just giving him the standard offer, and at least Dom's returning. Now we have Andrew Thomas here, who does also want to return. We have got to bring this man back, like he's the one who protects our young QB's blind side. Maybe a little 4-year offer? Thank the Lord! There's also some other really good players that we're gonna have to make tough decisions on, but for starters, bro, I just have got to bring back Amika, bro. I've got to, bro. I'll give you 7 years. I'll up your salary to $15 million per season, and I'll even up your bonus to like 12.5 mil. He has got to accept this, right? What do you mean? This man is giving me so much trouble, dude. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and franchise tag him. You're not going anywhere. Hopefully next year I can lock him down to a long-term deal. Now these two guys I do want to hold on to. I mean, he's our starting center, for crying out loud. Unfortunately, he's not too interested in returning, but hopefully this is enough to entice him. Corey, why? Well, I for sure have to lock down this left guard. Like, I can't lose my starting left guard and starting center in the same offseason. So again, man, I will give you a 7-year deal. I'll bump your salary up to like 4.5. We even up that bonus to $4 million a year. Come on, Tavares, he has got to accept. Thank you. At least somebody's reasonable. Now I guess time to advance into free agency and make sure we can bring our center back. I am going to try and restructure a few contracts to make sure we get that center back. This right here will free up about $5 million in cap space. Also restructure Jordan Addison's deal. That gives us $18 million to spend. He by far is the best center out there, so I am going to give him a pretty hefty offer. We're not even close. What if I up this to like 6 mil a year? Actually, we'll do 6.1. We're still not a top offer. Honestly, I think a 6.5 salary and a $7 million bonus is as high as I'm gonna go. And at least we're on the board now. Now, I do think I'm gonna go ahead and make my trade for the season now. So I do have a few ideas, starting by getting rid of Will McDonald. And we go out and acquire one of the best free safeties in the entire league at this point. I mean, yeah, it took a lot and we're not gonna have a 2nd round pick for a while, but come on, dude. We're trying to build a dynasty here. It's kind of unfortunate. I really do want to try and grab one of these defensive ends that are available, but like I don't have the money for them. Unless this guy here will take a massive pay cut. And when I say a massive pay cut, I mean a massive, massive pay cut. And apparently, although I have remaining cap room, I don't have enough. Finally, the bid goes through. Yeah, we're not even on the board, but I really hope our center resigns or I could kind of be screwed. We'll just put the offer out there and he went to the Seahawks. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that hurts quite a bit. And all the defensive linemen that I wanted signed too. Maybe I put an offer out for this fella and maybe convert him to center. It's really the best course of action I know right now. And since I do have a little available cap, maybe I can get a few guys on the cheap, like this defensive end. Maybe even add another solid corner to the equation. Now let's see which of these guys I actually land. Didn't get Tony, unfortunately, but at least I got the other two. Hopefully Peter Pearman's a good center for us. I mean, definitely a step backwards there, but we can work work with that. And with the addition of a superstar X-Factor free safety, I expect this defense to at least be top 5. Now, time to see what I can do in the draft. Completely forgot I used my first round pick in that trade, but we'll draft a stud here in the second. I'm just gonna go with the best center on the board and hope that he's a stud, and maybe, just maybe, he actually is. Continuing to draft a ton of offensive linemen, and hey, again, in the third round, we got another beast. I think I'm actually just gonna go with this super fast running back here, and he probably is not gonna be good. And I've got to say, dude, that's another solid draft class in the books. Part of me does kind of just want to start this center. You know what? We're gonna make it happen. I mean, this team should be poised for another Super Bowl run this year. Let's see if they can top their 14 win total from a year ago. I mean, we didn't top it technically, but at least this time we got a first round bye. Back-to-back seasons with the #1 offense, and our defense actually took a little step backwards. Brian with another spectacular season here. I just don't quite know if he'll win that MVP with the 11 interception total. Bobby showing why I picked up his 5th-year option, and our big 3 monster receivers once again show why I'm paying them the big bucks. Is that back-to-back MVPs? Not quite. Oh no, him and Caleb swapped. And at the end of the regular season, McMillan up to a 93 overall. Like, he could become a member of the 99 club any season now. And that young stud at center already passed the guy that we signed. Again, some solid, slow but steady improvements from some of our defenders. I mean, the team's a 95, man. We should be going on another run here. We're taking on the 9-8 Niners in the divisional round. We have this game at home. We're the massive favorites. No shot we lose our first playoff game after a 14-3 season and another dub. Can we please now beat the 10-7 Commanders and advance into our second straight Super Bowl? Like I said, boys, we're trying to build a dynasty here, and a Super Bowl here would be massive towards that goal. And boys, we're back in it again against the Dolphins. Now, before we try and go back-to-back, I do want to do some scouting here on the Dolphins. Like, do they still have Tua? Yes, they do, and he's up to a 95 overall. I mean, they got some absolute beast on this team. Hopefully it's enough to go back-to-back. I'm just gonna do this by the click of a button. I actually hate doing this. It's actually more nerve-wracking than watching the sim live. Come on now, please. Back-to-back Lombardi's, and boom! The boys in blue go back-to-back. And not only that, I finally won Coach of the Year. And my friends, the quest for a three-peat begins now. I'm really hoping our young QB finally became a superstar X Factor. I think much deserved. Oh. And now that Buka's now a true member of the 99 club, it is gonna be difficult to re-sign him. And even though we did go back-to-back, it looks like we had, I think, Greg Newsome, Dexter Lawrence, Ojulari, and Grant Delpit all have their development traits regress, which is kind of depressing. Oh gosh, now it's time here to spend the freaking big bucks. So the first thing that stresses me out here a little bit is the fact that we're gonna have to re-sign this QB, I think, next offseason, but at least for now, he's gonna return. Same thing with the free safety that we traded for. Like, it's gonna be tough to re-sign both of them in the same offseason, but at least if we don't re-sign him next offseason, he did bring us another Super Bowl. Boys, I'm gonna have to make some tough decisions on some of these other guys. For starters, we have got to bring back Amika. 7-year deal. I'll up this to, like, can I do 17 million salary, and can I do like a $15 million bonus? You know what? I'll go to 17.5. Highest offer. Amika, please. You know what, brother? You just get franchise tagged again. You know what? You're being stupid. Use your head, dude. We're trying to go on a 3-peat. But now I have got to re-sign Quay Walker. I'll give you a 4-year contract. This should be enough, and it is. Now, I think I am just gonna let these two guys walk. Now, I do want to re-sign Zach Palumbo, or do I? Because we have a young stud behind him. Like, would this money be better spent in actual free agency, trying to get a better defensive end or strong safety? You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna advance into offseason free agency and maybe improve a position or two there. I could try to sign Jeff Simmons for a season or two. Honestly, I think this would be worth it, although I'm gonna drop the bonus just a tad. Now, we are tied with the Bears, unfortunately. You know what if I just gave you exactly what you wanted? We're still tied. Now, we're still in need of a strong safety. And I mean, Grant Delpit's the best one available. Although, again, strong safety, we have a youngster behind him. So is the best bet actually here to save my money? I mean, I really would like Palumbo, but now we're at the point where I can't re-sign him. So I guess this offseason is Jeff Simmons or bust. Please accept. Oh, God, did he choose the Bears? Oh, no, he chose us. I got scared for a second. That's going to be huge, though. I mean, yes, we have guys regressing on defense, but still, this should be a top 5 unit. Now, this upcoming draft is literally going to be all about depth. Now, I've got to make this pick count because I don't have a second rounder. Now, there is part of me that does want to just draft this quarterback just in case we don't have enough money to re-sign our guy next year. Projected top 5 pick, we have him as a first or second round talent. My pick's number 32. I'm just going to take him just in case, like insurance. And at least he does have hidden development with 96 throw power. Now, this outside linebacker is the only player I think's worth taking here in the 3rd round. And he's not a bust, thank God. 88 speed's crazy for a linebacker. I mean, this guy looks just like a 5th round pick. Exactly. A little dud here in the 6th round. I didn't even think about the fact I do have the Mr. Irrelevant pick here, so let's see if I can get an absolute stud. Yet again, just going with another outside linebacker. Oh my God, dude, we actually just hit on a hidden development outside linebacker with Mr. Irrelevant. I'm actually excited to see that QB's overall. I'm excited to see Mr. Irrelevance overall. Quarterback was good. Everything else was pretty trash. How did a 61 overall outside linebacker have hidden development? That's kind of anticlimactic. Do have a bad feeling I'm not going to have enough money to re-sign everybody this next offseason, so this could be the last year with all these studs on offense. So hopefully we can make this season count and possibly win our 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. I mean, a slight drop off, but come on, 12 wins is still solid. 3rd straight year with the top offense in the NFL. Defensively, a pretty massive drop off. This might very well be one of the craziest seasons I've ever seen a quarterback. You know, 39 touchdowns to 1 singular interception. I mean, I think it's safe to say that might be MVP numbers. And this is our best season so far from Bobby. And actually a little drop off from our receivers. Hopefully that means I can negotiate for cheaper contracts. So did we in fact actually win the MVP? Yes! Man, I really hope we can re-sign this heathen. And Brian here is getting closer and closer to that 99 club. See what happened to our defense though. I mean, everybody's still looking pretty solid. I don't understand the drop off. But time to see if we can go back to back to back. We have to beat the Eagles here at home though in the wild card round. I mean, we have a big overall advantage. We should grab the dub, and we lost. I'm not gonna lie, that one stings a bit. Might be the last time we have the band of brothers together. Patrick's still winning Super Bowls in a new decade. And finally, we had our young QB improved to Superstar X Factor. And our running back is so close to 98 overall. He's gonna cost so much. And for some reason, Booth regressed. And defensively, we are gonna have to make a couple tough decisions. Because at minimum, we need a new left end. Is there anybody I can cut and save a ton of money? We honestly, I think, are just better off cutting Ojolari. Great service from you though, my friend. Maybe if need be, I can just reconstructure some of these contracts like Andrew Thomas. I'll gain another 5 mil here. Hopefully I have enough money to re-sign everybody. Oh no, boys. I gotta tell you, it is bad. It is so bad. Like, I might be better off just letting Amika walk because there's so many other players that I need to re-sign here. Which on the bright side, I was wrong. The quarterback stays another season. It's just next year we'll have to give him a lot of money. Why don't I start with the guys who want to stay here, like Bobby here? I'll give Bob a 5-year contract and he's coming back. Now, Greg Newsome, like, I do want you to return. Hopefully he'll accept a decent little 3-year contract, and he says that's a good deal. Now, Dexter Lawrence is a guy I have got to have back, and he's gonna take up so much of our remaining cap. Like, is he a guy I should just let walk? Because look at our D tackle depth. Now, Trey Smith, I feel like, is not replaceable. So I'll give you another 3-year deal. I'll have to bump it up a bit because he doesn't have interest in coming back for some reason. Hopefully that's enough. Thank the Lord. I want to bring this guy back so bad, but we don't even have enough money. What if I like drop this all the way down? He obviously isn't gonna accept, but can I afford the franchise tag? Yes, but it was a huge mistake. I didn't know that would put my cap room in the negatives. That means literally every single one of these guys is gonna have to walk. Bros, I really might get fired one of the last few seasons. So obviously the big glaring need on offense is a tight end, and defensively, man, we need everything. We need outside linebacker, D tackle, D end, and I do have 6.89 mil left. I still have to sign my draft picks too. Now let me tell you, there's some big quarterbacks left in free agency, but like there's no point in me signing a quarterback. What am I talking about? Oh, I wish I could bring back Dexter Lawrence, but it's never gonna happen. I guess all the D tackles I thought were coming back actually were on the last year of their contract, so that sucks. Can I afford Smith here? It doesn't look like it. I honest to God might just be out of luck. Maybe Thad Wilkerson could be my lone signing of the offseason. Maybe I could actually get a guy like Bo here. I have to accept a super cheap contract. I mean, it's looking good because we're the only offer. Maybe I'll submit it through. He hasn't accepted yet, but at least we got Thad. All right, good. Bo finally came to his senses. This honestly is one of the most important drafts I've had in a really long time. So the first player that I see is honestly the first player that I'm going to draft here in the first round. Gary Young. We need a tight end badly. He's super fast, has some pretty good ratings across the board. Receiving tight end, which is what I want, and Gary looks to be a stud. Forgot I don't have a second round pick since I traded it away. There is never any good mid-round defensive lineman, like ever. I think the only player worth taking here is this middle linebacker. Hopefully Juan is solid, and he is. Another draft, another outside linebacker, and we hit again. We need defensive tackle, and this is literally like the only guy that even looks worthy of a selection. Like, if he's anything decent, he'll probably be like a 70 overall, but honestly, I'll take it as long as he's not a low 60s. And actually, outside of the first 2 rounds, that draft was an absolute dud. I mean, it's not the offense I'm worried about this year. It's the freaking defense, although it's not that bad, just a little lackluster on the D-line. Now, I am going to attempt a trade here. I want to go ahead and try to get a stud D-tackle. Second round pick isn't enough. This would definitely help that Dexter Lawrence drop off. Come on, a 7th from this season should be enough. Thank God. At least that looks a little bit better. I've just got to make it through 2 more seasons without getting fired. But I think this is still a team that should be fighting for a 1 seed, right? What the frick happened? An 8-9 season with that overall? I swear this game is just so stupid. We had the second best offense in the entire league. That's the same our defense was last year. This guy, you're telling me this guy went 8-9? It's not like the running game did bad. Again, 3 1,000-yard receivers. I mean, I guess we really couldn't get to the quarterback that much as a team. The MVP didn't make the playoffs. Come on. I just hope to God that's not what gets me fired. Like, I've never been fired before. I don't even know what it tells you. Maybe I'm safe right now. I don't know. God, I wish that was us. It's gonna be so tough. But bros, next season makes year 10. I am gonna go all out this offseason and in the preseason to make sure we go out with the bang and hopefully not get fired in the last season to fail the challenge. And it's gonna be so hard to re-sign this guy because our man's already at 99. He honestly might take literally all of my cap room. Dudes, it gets worse. The whole linebacking core is down to normal development, and 2 of what used to be our best cornerbacks are now down to normal development. I'm gonna have to work an absolute masterclass here. So for starters, yes, Brian McMillan, I want you, although for some reason he has no interest in coming back. And it's not only him, it's Tracy Smith, it's Emeka Egbuka, Duncan here. Dudes, we just might be screwed. What do I have to do to actually re-sign this man? Like, off the get-go, we only have 12 million remaining. Like, I have a bad feeling, like a horrible feeling that he's not gonna re-sign here. Like, I'll give you 21.5 a year, and I'll give you a 30. That's as high as the bonus goes, so I can't go any higher. So I don't know what you expect from me, Brian. I'm gonna submit this through, and it says I don't have the salary cap. I obviously do. I have 10 mil left. What does that even mean? What do I have to go down to? This game is ridiculous. I literally have 11 mil left. I mean, of course he thinks free agency's gonna be better. So of course, I'm gonna try and franchise tag him, which gives me only 2.2 million to spend on the rest of these free agents. Boys, I think the only thing I can do here is try my absolute best to try and restructure as many contracts as physically possible. This is one contract down. Dom here is gonna make another. Tyson, I'll free up another 3 mil. Like, whatever coach takes over after me, they'll be screwed, but hey, we're trying to go all out for one more Super Bowl to be able to restructure this left guard's contract. Greg Newsome will give me 1.4 mil, and unfortunately, I really think that's all I got. At least that gives me 21 to work with. Now, Tracy Smith, do we have enough for you? I think we do, unless 5.5 million means I'm in the negative. Oh, thank God we at least bring Tracy back. Now, Duncan here, I really do need to bring him back, because look at what I have behind him. Problem is, it's giving me that glitch again, saying I don't have the money. And yep, he's not coming back. And I think at this point, it's an obvious that Amika, he's not returning either. But this offseason has been our most depressing in a really long time. I mean, I think regardless, our offense is going to be fine. It's just this defense I'm worried about. I mean, if I'm going to do anything with this $6 million, I'm going to try and sign somebody at strong safety. Yo, I was actually able to offer Javon Duncan that time. The game actually let me use all my cap space. So at least we could potentially get him back. No question. At least the defense looks a little bit better. It's very important here I have another good draft class, because I'm going to need everything possible to go my way to have a good last season and at least have a chance to go on one final Super Bowl run. I actually have pick 15 this year. First time I've had a top half pick in a long time. We need defensive tackles so bad, and I really hope this guy's worth it. Or should I wait until the second? That's tough. A lot harder to pick here now that I actually have a decent draft pick. There's so many options. Johnny here is really good too. I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go Emmanuel Macklin. Hopefully he's a decent pick and at least he's not a bust. I forgot I don't have a second round pick. Nah, dude, we're trading up. Quay Walker cost way too much. We don't really need Paul anymore. And we did get ourselves a second round pick from the Colts while also saving some money. The corner I wanted's no longer there, but this guy doesn't look terrible. I mean, we need as many quality corners as we can get right now, and he might be a bust. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this Chris Davis guy actually looks like a stud. Hopefully, I'm not wrong, and boys, am I ever wrong? I do need middle linebacker depth now. I'm just gonna go with Lamar Linton here, and he doesn't look incredible. Outside of the defensive tackle, I have to say, it just ended up not being the best of drafts, you know? We've officially made it to year 10. I just really hope this 10th season isn't an absolute disaster that ends up in me getting fired. I mean, yes, we lost a few pieces on offense, but this isn't the unit I'm worried about. It's more this freaking defense. But since this is the most important season of the video yet, screw the one trade rule. I'm gonna go all out and do everything I can to try and make this finale season another Super Bowl. Not a good start since we have negative cap room. To fix that, I'm gonna restructure as many contracts as I can. We only get 3 mil here, but hey, every dollar's worth it right now. There's actually not that many contracts I can actually restructure right now, but at least that 3 mil can get me started. We just acquired our brand new starting defensive end for little and a couple of draft picks. Now we've acquired an absolute stud at the outside linebacker position. Yeah, we had to trade away a lot, but I think it'll be worth it. And now we get an absolute stud to replace Kayvon Thibodeau, which took a lot, but hey, at least his last name is Wiener. I mean, the defense looks better, but I still think there's a little work we can do, such as acquiring a brand new lockdown corner. We get Cates from the Commanders, 89 overall for a pretty hefty fee, but I think it'll be worth it. Now, I had to go and acquire a better wide receiver 3, and we got that in Quentin Johnson. I think I'm gonna try for at least one more half-decent move. I think it's finally time to acquire our brand new starting middle linebacker. Honestly, cannot believe we improved this defense this much in one offseason. I mean, the defense is up to a 91 overall with this absolute outstanding 95 overall offense. So I pray to God that the 2033 2023 New York Giants aren't the team that gets me fired, so I can hopefully save my freaking mud coins. I mean, I've got everything else checked off on the list, and back in the playoffs, exactly where we belong, thank God. Back with the second best offense in the NFL. Defensively, we improved back into the top 10. Thank God I'm not the one that has to work out a long-term contract for this fella. And these 24 rushing touchdowns are exactly why I gave Bobby that contract. Definitely missing Amika, but at least Quentin Johnson filled in as a budget option. And this defense actually had 3 guys getting after that QB. I mean, Brian here could have very easily had what is 4th MVP, but all that matters up to this point is that this team gets, please, a 3rd Super Bowl. I'm just gonna advance all the way through and hope to God the Giants are still in it. Oh my God, we actually are. It was a wild one in the wild card round, but 2 consecutive blowouts against division opponents to advance into the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. I'm telling you, this would be the picture-perfect ending. I feel at this point it would just be so anticlimactic if we lost here. Oh, and I just realized they might not have Tom Brady, but they have somebody just as good. This is literally a battle of the best 2 quarterbacks in the league. They got a good running back too. They got a 99 receiver. At least he's a polite young man. It would be so anticlimactic if we lost this thing, and it's not looking good. Although, oh God, it's 7-0. Can we please answer? 7-7. We responded. Come on, take the lead here. Took the lead before half, and it's 10-10 going in the second half. 17-10. We answer. This is gonna be a crazy one. 24-17. Come on. Oh no. Field goal. Overtime. We got a touchdown. Stop him. Stop him. We stopped him. We stopped him. Our 3rd Super Bowl as the head coach of the New York Giants. This time, once again, over the New England Patriots. A scene way too familiar for the Patriots fans, but I've officially survived 10 full seasons as the New York Giants head coach, while at the same time winning ourselves 3 Lombardi trophies. And that, my friends, is a dynasty. Now, I really do hope you enjoyed that one, because it only took about 10 hours to record, and hopefully I did earn your subscription to my channel. But if you did enjoy it, you can click right here to watch me rebuild the NFL's worst team, and honestly, that was a bigger challenge than this video.